How's it going, everybody? God damn, I hope you have a great day. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm having the best day ever. You know, every day that we film the Some Ordinary podcast, super awesome day. But not every day that I get to ratio and design from the old Apple world. Now, to understand, I'm going to ask you a simple question. Would you buy this vehicle, okay? Now, if the answer is, oh, hell yeah, I'll buy that vehicle because it's got the Apple logo on it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Your heart's in the right place, but Lord, let's get into the real issues here. Now, obviously, in a vehicle, what's the most important thing, right? Is it a steering wheel? Well, seems like that's a little too old school. What about having windows? You know, I get that Apple, as a company, hasn't had the nicest relationship with Microsoft, but that doesn't mean we should get rid of a basic design that's been present in vehicles since the dawn of time. The benefit of a window is that it allows you to look into the outside world. So when you're driving a mobile death trap on wheels that, in this case looks like a goddamn Mighty Mouse on wheels, you should absolutely be able to look every single place imaginable so that, you don't like run people over, right? Like maybe that's a simple concept. Maybe having a wheel so that you can manually intervene on a car. Pedals would be nice, okay? So you could control the speed on which your mobile death trap drives on. Now, we live in a day and age where vehicle advancements are kind of crazy, okay? Like electric vehicles, super cool, super expensive, not really practical, I think, for a lot of people who, want to save money, because to buy the thing that you want to save money with already costs an arm and a leg. But hey, you know what? In due time, in the next 10 years, hopefully things like batteries start getting cheaper, we start getting access to more processors, and a lot more people jump into the ring that can produce more affordable electric vehicles, okay? I think having those choices would be beneficial. Now, do I think Apple would make a cheap electric vehicle? Dog, they don't even make cheap phones, okay? You think they're gonna make a cheap car? What the fuck is wrong with you, okay? This is Apple we're talking about. If they could nickel and dime a dying baby, they absolutely would. What are we on here? Now, of course, to understand, this came from a patent, all right? Like, this was first reported on by sites like VR Scout, who jumped into it. Now, the reason this blew up is obviously this design looks dumb, so everyone was going to try and ratio it. But also, you also had a patent that was kicked in. Now, patents in the tech field are always filed, okay? Sometimes companies file patents, not because they want to do something, but because they sometimes want to lock another company out of making an innovation, right? So here, Apple actually sourced this patent all the way back, if you read into it, from 2016, okay? So even in the U.S. Patent Trade Office, the filing date was all the way back then. But of course, this is something that's Apple's been doing for the year 2014 and beyond. So Apple has actually been interested in making a vehicle, apparently, since back in the days of 2013, 2014. Now, of course, the designs have so much changed, right? Like Apple's now going into electric cars, and now they want to go into fully autonomous vehicles, which there's not really a lot of competition for, right? Like you've got Tesla, you've got Mercedes-Benz, as far as I know, but slowly over time, you're going to have a lot more vehicle manufacturers jump in. Now, again, my reservations on fully autonomous vehicles, I'm actually scared of it, okay? To be real with you, trusting a computer to manage a vehicle that can go up to 130 kilometers an hour on the open road scares the piss out of me. Because human beings, all right, while they can have better reaction times than computers, when you actually have vehicles on the road, you want to have proper manual intervention. You don't want somebody setting a computer to drive themselves in the road and that person, checking their phone, falling asleep, jacking off, doing something else in the car. I get it, it's a dream, okay? I hate driving an hour to Toronto every goddamn day. But you know what? I'd rather be fully attentive than dying on the road because I'm checking the internet because my car drives itself. Look, it's weird shit to me. I know the technology is getting better over the years. I get it, okay? It's the future. But sometimes it's normal to be scared of the future. Sometimes it's normal to be scared of some levels of progress, okay? Maybe I'm an old school guy. I still drive a stick shift, okay? So for me, having all the manual control is still better than letting the car decide whether I live or die that day. I'm not going to get into all the failings of fully self-driving systems, because I'm sure there's legal systems out there that would sue my ass into oblivion for bringing the truth. But you know what? Let's get into the Apple Car thing. So here's like some images from this like design that always like really shock me. So there's one image, and I swear to God, this reminds me of the South Park It, you know, like the little It car, because Mr. Garrison in one episode got so tired of flying to places, he made a method of transportation that was the fastest in the world. The only difference was you had to anally insert like a control into your butthole, and you had to like, you know, you suck on a basic like car cock and jack off two handles to drive the vehicle. This kind of looks like that without a lot of the anal pain. So here you can see that the passenger is sitting somewhere staring 45 degrees into the air. They're sitting on an active seat, whatever the hell that means. And then they've got an audio system and the HVAC system, so they're getting cool air blown to them. And of course, they got a VR controller. Now you might be like, why would they have a virtual reality controller? Remember, let's go back to Exhibit A that'll one day be used in a courtroom. This is a vehicle with no goddamn windows, right? So obviously you can't like look outside. So what they apparently like allegedly would have is like cameras that would face the outside. And effectively you put the VR headset on and you would get a live feed of the outside world being fed into your headset. Now, again, I don't have to tell you as an engineer, adding extra points of failures like that, not only are they expensive, like first off, this throws the expense of a vehicle up to astronomical proportions, which is one reason why I don't see Apple doing it whatsoever. Now, obviously, when you add headsets, cameras, LiDAR systems, you know, already making an electric car with batteries that are super expensive and like chips that are barely found by some of the most largest companies out there, you effectively like triple the value of the entire car. You triple the entire cost of a car right there and then. But the safety is not to be like misunderstood. From what I understand, most vehicles that have autonomous systems, like I think a Tesla actually has like multiple processors and chips on board that serve as fail-safes, right? So like let's say your full self-driving chip crashes in the middle of the road, right? Like let's say like the system on it just halts and like let's say it kernel panics, right? Well, it has to have some level of a fail-safe that exists on it that it can immediately back like channel to and say, hey, you know, serve as a retention, if you will, like a redundancy. That's what you have to have. So that's why the prices increase on a lot of these systems. Obviously, when you have a system that relies on cameras feeding data into a VR headset, what happens if the VR headset fails? Is the driver then suddenly blind? Does the vehicle immediately auto-pull itself over so that all safety can be applied? You know, it seems like something that like requires a lot of over-engineering. This seems like something that would happen in Silicon Valley when like some like when some inventor or like somebody in a boardroom just likes to bring up an idea to siphon billions of dollars from like a research and design department. You know, at the end of the day, having windows and a steering wheel on a car should kind of be considered a safety like a safety staple, if you will, right? You know, not only can you save costs, corporate America, by introducing a simple set of windows and a wheel and an accelerator and a brake, but you also, all right, introduce a lot of safety mechanisms right there as well. I could only imagine if this car ever existed and there was a crash, how the hell do you think the court proceedings would go at that point? I also find it really hard that Apple may be able to sell a vehicle like this. If I was somebody that was buying a car and you told me that I had to put my entire life into the hands of a computer, I might not be so willing to buy that vehicle, even if it has a shiny Apple logo in front of it. I know that shiny Apple logo is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay? But even I ain't dumb enough to make mistakes like that. And can we just start and talk about something serious? Those fucking rim designs, okay? I'm sorry. They should be paying you to drive with vehicles that have shitty rims like that. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the Apple car design because, honestly, if you look into Apple's history, they've been working on this stuff for years, allegedly behind the scenes. There have been so many conspiracies about actual, like, employees being poached, various other companies of automobile CEOs literally talking on this topic as well, too. So it's interesting to see, like, what Apple will do in the future when it comes to making a vehicle, and hopefully making a vehicle. It would be wild to me if Apple out of nowhere makes the one affordable affordable electric vehicle that actually is fun to drive, okay? One that actually, you know, they bring to you, one that anybody can afford, one that is reasonably priced, and one that has probably like the best autopilot systems out there. That would kind of blow my mind if Apple did it. Now, the pessimist in me with Apple's history, do I believe it? Probably not, but it's something I wanted to talk about because ever since I saw this in my feed, ever since I saw this infect my eyeballs, I just wanted to get it out there. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mutahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like if you dislike it, I am out.